Page number 1. The Interface Financial Group, the ultimate professional franchise, providing working capital for business since 1972. The IFG 50/50 Story. Page 2. The IFG 50/50 Story. This essay. The IFG 50/50 franchise opportunity is designed to give you a thorough look at the Interface Financial Group. This document has been created for an international audience. Some terms and numerical data may not pertain to your country. Items such as the local franchise fees, royalty rates, and maintenance fees are not quoted. Please contact us for specific information. We currently offer our IFG 50/50 franchise in the following countries: United States, Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, and Republic of Ireland. We strongly suggest that you print a hard copy of this document and highlight sections of interest for later discussion. Part 1. Who's Who. Part 2. Backgrounds. Part 3. Operations. Part 4. Franchisees. Part 5. The franchise. Part 6. Marketing and promotion. Part 7. Your timetable and what next. Page 3. A few words from the President. We are a people company and a technology-driven organization that has created a superior franchise and a superior service advantage for our clients. The IFG 50/50 franchise has been crafted to offer franchisees a solid return on their working capital while also enabling them to participate in transactions via a secure environment. With IFG, you can usually finalize a transaction in a matter of hours as opposed to days or even weeks compared with conventional funders. We strive to provide our franchisees with a viable growth business, while at the same time assisting our client companies with their growth. The following information will give you a first look at IFG and set the scene for a more in-depth discussion with one of our senior executives. David T. Banfield, President, the Interface Financial Group. The Interface Financial Group, empowering growth. Page 4. Part 1. Who's Who and History. Section 1. Executive Summary. Section 2. Who's Who and Where. Section 3. History. Page 5. 1. Executive Summary. The Interface Financial Group, together with our franchisees, buy assets. We never lend money. The asset we buy is an account receivable that is evidenced by an invoice. We buy this invoice at a discount from the face value and hold it until maturity, usually about 45 to 55 days. At the end of the credit period, full payment of 100% of the face value of the invoice is received, and the transaction is complete. Please review our 50-second invoice discounting 101 video. Our mission statement: build powerful, well-capitalized business opportunities for our franchisees. Offer a support system that enhances franchisee growth on an ongoing basis. Accelerate cash flow for businesses through a proven operating system. What's in a name? For over 40 years, the Interface Financial Group has provided a service called invoice discounting. Our clients wish to accelerate their cash flow, so they sell their invoices to Interface at a small discount. That's the transaction, hence the name invoice discounting. Invoice discounting is also synonymous with a service known as spot factoring. In this service, the factor buys a single invoice or a batch of invoices. With conventional factoring, all invoices are pledged to the factor on an ongoing basis. In the United Kingdom and Australia, the practice is called invoice discounting. In essence, the service is basically a non-notification form of asset-based lending. The client pledges all of their invoices to the factor invoice discounter in exchange for a revolving line of credit directly linked to the value of the account's receivable collateral. The customer is unaware of this arrangement and makes payment to a designated lockbox under the control of the factor invoice discounter. In order to clearly delineate the interface service internationally, we often use the term spot factoring. In this document, you will see many references to invoice discounting. Please interpret them as a spot factoring transaction. Page number 6. 2. Who's who and where. Terms, names, and phraseology. Interface Financial Corp., a U.S. corporation and the franchisor of U.S. operations and franchise operations outside North America, located in Bethesda, Maryland. The Interface Group Limited, a Canadian corporation and the franchisor of Canadian operations, located in Markham, Ontario, Canada. IFG Network LLC, a U.S. company located in Bethesda, Maryland, which provides syndication opportunities, credit underwriting, and administration of all syndicated transactions for all IFG 50/50 franchisees. The Interface Financial Group 50/50, IFG 50/50, the brand name for the franchise. The brand name is owned by Interface Financial Corp. All business is conducted under the Interface Financial Group banner. The Interface Financial Group, the registered trade name of the franchise. All franchisees do business under this name. Both the name and the logo are registered and therefore protected by law in all countries where Interface operates. Institutional investors, external approved investors that provide capital to effectively leverage the franchisee's position and enhance their ROI. The client, the company that sells an invoice to Interface. The customer, the company that buys the client's product or service and pays the invoice, also sometimes referred to as the account debtor in the Interface transaction. Franchisee, you. The Interface Financial Group has physical locations as follows: Bethesda, Maryland, USA, Head Office Operations Center and North American Training Center. Markham, Ontario, Canada, Global Franchise Development Center. Tonbridge and Derby, UK, Training Center and Franchise Development Center, respectively. Dublin, Republic of Ireland, Operations Center for Ireland and Irish Franchise Development Base. Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, Operations Center for Australia and Franchise Development Base. Page number 7. The Interface 50/50 Management Team. John Shee, founder. Operating out of the Canadian head office, Mr. Shee founded the Interface Financial Group in 1972. John perfected the IFG invoice discounting system. George Shapiro, Chairman, Interface Financial Corp. And Chief Executive Officer, IFG Network LLC. George operates out of our U.S. headquarters and training center in Bethesda, Maryland, USA. George is a hands-on chairman in all aspects of IFG operations. David Banfield, President, Interface Financial Corp. David operates out of the Global Franchise Development Headquarters in Markham, Ontario, Canada. David is involved in all aspects of franchise development. Sabine Ahmed, Chief Credit Officer and Chief Operating Officer, IFG Network LLC. Sabine is based in Bethesda, Maryland, and is responsible for all credit functions and transaction underwriting. Stephen DeYoe, Vice President, Advanced Technology, Head of IFG Lab, IFG Network LLC. Steve operates out of Bethesda and has day-to-day responsibility for the technology needs of IFG. Tony Tenaglia, Vice President, Interface Financial Corp. Tony operates out of Chicago, Illinois. He has been a franchisee since 2005 and also has corporate responsibility for franchisee field training and franchise development. Page number 8. Bruce Williams, Director of Sales and Marketing, Interface Financial Corp., United Kingdom. Bruce operates out of Tonbridge, UK, and has been with Interface since 2011, initially as a franchisee, and then Director of IFG Network UK Limited. Bruce is also involved with franchisee training in the UK marketplace. Ian Cristello, Area Developer, Interface Financial Corp., United Kingdom. Ian is based in the Greater Leicester area of the UK and is involved with the franchise recruitment and development for a large part of the UK. Mark Monument, Business Development Manager, UK. Mark is based in our Derby, UK office and is responsible for day-to-day franchise development activities throughout the UK. Paul Tehan, Area Developer, Interface Financial Corp., Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. Paul has been an area developer and franchisee since 2010. Based in Dublin, Paul has day-to-day responsibility for franchise recruitment and training in Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. Page number 9. 3. Interface History. Interface began operations in 1972 and is now a market leader in the alternative finance market. For the first 20 years of its operations before franchising, Interface acted as an invoice discounter. Our hands-on experience and a growing network of IFG 50/50 offices in many countries now offers you a solid base of financial strength, knowledge, and service. This foundation is the basis for our robust franchise network. Franchisees rely on the combined 100-plus years of experience offered by our senior management. It is great to be in business for yourself, not by yourself. What do our franchisees say about Interface? They say the proof is in the pudding, but the reality is when looking to start a new franchise, one can only expect the franchisor to do so much. The rest is up to the individual. The key to success is the relationship after the training and opening of the shop. In my opinion, too many franchise operators are left to do their own thing, and the franchisor is happy just to collect their royalties and fees. When I started looking to open my own business, I did not expect to become a franchisee, but after reviewing the IFG model over and over again, I realized that this operation is more of a partnership. I have been looking for a business that helps people and is interesting and constantly changing. When I found the IFG system, it fit exactly with what I have been looking for. The ability to help small business succeed and the variety of interaction amongst the different businesses are very appealing. I joined IFG as a franchisee in 2011. It's a good, solid franchise with good ethics and an enduring product. The franchise opportunity should appeal to those with an analytical, business-curious mind. It keeps the gray matter moving and exercised. I personally enjoy the social element and building up a network of financial services professionals who have their ear to the ground for me. If somebody is looking for a white-collar, B2B franchise with a brand that has both a good long-term background and scope for a huge ongoing potential, then they should take a serious look at this project. The Interface Financial Group has met my goals for what I was looking for. The back office support and training works as long as you are willing to listen and learn. The market is large, competition is low, and the product is unique. It is a good recipe for a person seeking a business in the finance sector that enables them to be their own boss, but still have constant professional support and guidance. It really is a partnership between the franchisee and the corporate office. Management has a vested interest in our success, and they do a great job of giving you what you need to succeed. Page number 10. Part 2. Background. Section 4. Why a franchise? Section 5. The marketplace. Section 6. Interest rates. Section 7. The competition. Section 8. Is it factoring? Page number 11. 4. Why a franchise? A franchise provides you with a proven business model and a complete system of doing business, as well as superior training, ongoing consistent support, and assistance through a central source. In the U.S., a new franchise unit opens every 8 minutes of every working day in one of 75 different industries. Franchise businesses create jobs and contribute significant revenue to the economy. The U.S. is not alone in this growth situation. Worldwide franchising continues to grow at a rate higher than non-franchise businesses. The financial segment of franchising has seen steady growth over the past 40 years. Virtually every day of the week, people come in contact with a franchise. We buy cars, gas, and oil from franchise businesses. We eat in franchise restaurants. We buy houses from franchise real estate brokers. We buy financial advice and services from franchised financial advisors. 5. The marketplace. The invoice discounting marketplace is part of the factoring financial services family. This market continues to grow at a healthy rate. Interface has always enjoyed great success working in the SME marketplace. With our new and expanded open ledger concept, invoice size doesn't matter. Usually, we can handle larger transactions in less than a week. Factoring and invoice discounting are mature financial services in all of the countries in which Interface operates. According to the World Factoring Yearbook, published by BCR Publishing of Bromley, Kent, England, there were over 70 countries reporting a domestic and export factoring industry. They also report year-over-year growth in the factoring and invoice discounting areas. We track volumes of information gleaned from countries where we operate and are happy to share those numbers with you upon request. Page 12. 6. Interest rates. IFG 50/50 franchisees enjoy a flow of business regardless of the local, regional, national, or global economy. Interest rates have no direct correlation to our discount rates. In times of a down economy, the established lenders often tighten their loan approval process, thus driving more business to Interface. In an up economy, we see more new startups, with entrepreneurs creating new ventures. New startups may find it difficult, if not impossible, to find conventional funding. 7. The competition. If you look online for factors or factoring in your area, you will probably see a long list of names. This condition clearly indicates that there is market demand for our type of service. This condition also means that Interface has a ready-made pipeline of referral sources. Established factoring companies constantly receive inquiries that don't fit their client's profile. Prospects rejected by factors probably fit the Interface niche due to their size or the nature of their business. We therefore gain referrals for little or no marketing expense. Is there anyone doing exactly what Interface does? We don't believe so, and certainly not in a franchise format with more than 40 years of in-depth industry experience and over 100 locations in 9 countries. When you Google or check your local business directory listings, note how many participants are actually local companies. Many may be from other remote locales, and the presence of a toll-free number without a street address will give you a clue in that regard. New e-lenders and e-discounters arrive daily on the Internet. An element of competition is always a good thing. In many cases, though, their presence does not represent true competition, as their funding criteria are based on established lending policies. In reality, these organizations tend to be balance sheet lenders. Our business is local. Franchisees serve their immediate geographic area so that they can respond to the needs of their clients in a timely, professional, and personal basis. Interface does business face-to-face, something that e-funders just cannot achieve. Page number 13. 8. Is it factoring? When we talk about invoice discounting, everyone says, "Oh, you mean factoring?" Or isn't invoice discounting just another name for factoring? Definitely not. Let's look at the two services, both of which can form an integral part of financing the business growth cycle. In a factoring relationship, the client company, this is the user of the service, basically sells all or a very significant part of their accounts receivable to the factor. The factor then uses the receivable base as collateral to establish a revolving line of credit geared to receivables. The traditional factor also takes over all of the day-to-day accounts receivable work and handles the complete back-office administration. This may consist of all credit investigation and sometimes credit underwriting, bookkeeping, including cash application, preparing and dispatching monthly statements, providing ledgers, and finally collection calls direct to their clients' customers. A factor is usually compensated in 2 ways. The client first must pay for the factoring facility, i.e., use of the funds, and secondly, the client pays for all of the administration handled by the factor with a charge known as the commission charge. This charge is a percentage of total sales, usually in the range of 2 to 3% of gross sales. There will also be other charges for setting up the ledger and taking appropriate security at the front end of the relationship. There may also be charges and penalties should the client wish to terminate the agreement prior to the expiration date. Factoring is invariably undertaken on a contractual basis, which means the client has signed to use the service for 1, 2, 3+ years. The client is tied to the factor on an ongoing basis. In an invoice discounting relationship, IFG invoice discounting is a much more streamlined service and represents a simple single invoice transaction of buying for cash at a discount, a single invoice or group of invoices. Interface doesn't engage full accounts receivable portfolio factoring. We don't get involved in extensive administration other than for the invoices that we actually purchase. Interface offers a service that a client can use when needed. There is no contractual arrangement compelling a client to put all of their sales through the Interface system for any specific time period. Interface allows a pick-and-choose, use-it-as-you-need-it facility, a much-needed and less restrictive approach that has particular appeal for rapidly growing companies. Page 14. Part 3. Operations. Section 9. Risk Management. Section 10. The Transaction, Numbers and Structure. Section 11. The Transaction, Funding and Income. Section 12, the bigger opportunity. Section 13, low on capital. Section 14, collections. Section 15, technology. Page number 15. How do we make a decision on which invoices to buy and which invoices not to buy? Let's take a look at the proven IFG Risk Management Program in outline form. When we buy an invoice, we need to be comfortable that we will be paid in a timely manner. Therefore, we need to examine why we might not be paid. There are just 2 reasons for non-payment. Non-payment occurs when the customer does not have the ability to pay, i.e., a credit or credit-related issue. We mitigate the circumstance prior to purchase with credit and payment history checks. Secondly, payment may not occur as the client claims some form of dispute. They didn't like the product which was delivered, it was not what they ordered, it was short-shipped, or there was late delivery, and so on. We mitigate this event with 100% validation of every invoice being offered to us. The customer has to verify to us in writing that they have the goods or services, that they have accepted them, that they ordered them, and so on. Only when we have completed credit checking and validation would we buy an invoice. Again, 40+ years of experience coupled with today's technology enables us to complete these functions in a rapid time frame to accommodate our clients' needs. Page number 16. 10. The Transaction, Numbers and Structure. The IFG 50/50 franchise is designed to maximize return for franchisees, while at the same time containing and managing risk. This condition involves reducing capital involvement to a point where a maximized leverage return can be achieved. Leverage is one of the key features of IFG 50/50. Leverage represents the opportunity for franchisees to generate income using other people's money. It is a well-known fact that using other people's money, OPM, is a proven way of creating exponential growth. Interface affords franchisees this opportunity. As a rule, OPM will come at a cost to the beneficiary. Once again, Interface is different, as the IFG 50/50 leverage effect of OPM is provided at no cost and no obligation to all franchisees. When we fund a transaction, a franchisee will usually invest 1/6, 16.66% of the total required. The 16.66% level is the level at which leverage has the greatest effect. Example, invoices offered for discount equal $90,000. Typical funding percentage equals 80%, equals $72,000. Franchisee's capital contribution equals 16.66%. We normally fund at 80% of the face value of the invoices. This creates an unfunded reserve of 20% due to the client on settlement of the transaction, less the charges. For the use of our service, clients pay both a discount fee and a transaction fee. The discount fee is based on a daily rate, so the total cost will be the number of days outstanding multiplied by the daily rate. Typically, when that calculation is completed, the resulting number equates to about 1% of the face value of the invoices. The transaction fee is a fixed 2% of the face value of the invoices. Total cost for the client is therefore approximately only 3% of the invoice's value. Fees are earned when the customer settles the invoice. Interface receives full payment direct from the customer. Those fees are now allocated between franchisee and franchisor. The discount fee income is split proportionate to the capital contribution. Hence, the franchisee received 16.66% of the discount fee earned. Logic would dictate that same arithmetic would apply to the transaction fee. But this is where leverage comes in, and the franchisee actually receives 50% of the transaction fee earned. Page number 17. Our client makes and sells their product or service. They deliver it to their customer. They issue an invoice to their customer. They would like to accelerate payment and offer the invoice to IFG for discounting. The invoice, which includes freight, shipping costs, packaging costs, taxes, etc., is $90,000. We, franchisee and franchisor, handle the due diligence, and if everything is in order, we, franchisee and franchisor, buy the invoice. Typically, we fund transactions at 80% of the face value of the invoice. In this case, that would be $72,000. The finance package is 16%, or 1/6 from our franchisee, $12,000, and the balance from us, franchisor. We package the funding and manage the transaction on behalf of the franchisee and franchisor. That's it. Simple, easy, and timely. We have now purchased the invoice. Remember, it was a purchase. There was no loan involved. Our clients pay both a discount fee and a transaction fee for our services. The discount fee varies slightly depending on the length of the transaction, number of days outstanding, and is approximately 1%, while the transaction fee is fixed at 2%. When the invoice is paid, we will receive $90,000. Who gets what? Firstly, we have to settle with our client. We owe them the unfunded 20% of the invoice less our fees. The fees are 1% of $90,000, equal $900, and 2% of $90,000, equaling $1,800. Total, $2,700 paid by our client. Balance due to the client, therefore, $18,000 minus $2,700 equals $15,300. Now, we can allocate the income. Franchisee subscribed 1/6 of the capital and therefore earns 1/6 of the discount income. $900 times 1/6 equals $150. Franchisees should also receive 1/6 of the transaction fee, but no, due to the leverage that we supply for our franchisee at no cost or obligation, they receive 50% of the transaction fee, equaling $900, making their total income $1,050. This is what happened. Franchisee invested $12,000 for approximately 45 to 50 days and earned $1,050. The math? Accounting expresses that income as a per annum return on capital. Once the transaction is completed, your capital comes back to you and is ready to fund the next transaction. The IFG 50/50 model represents an outstanding and above-average return on working capital. Page number 18. 12. The bigger opportunity? While invoice discounting is a valuable service, it is not for everyone. At Interface, we aim to offer services that meet the needs of both the SME marketplace and also the mature companies that have substantial sales volumes in excess of, say, US $10 million, 7 million pounds, 8 million euros, and 13 million Australian. Where volumes are substantial, invoice discounting can still be an option. However, experience shows that the larger company, the more substantial the need. Interface has developed a second service line to specifically accommodate this category of client, the IFG Open Ledger Finance. The process represents a departure from our single invoice approach and gives our clients greater flexibility by taking their whole ledger into consideration as we structure a tailor-made facility for them. However, one of the key elements is that there is still no contract for the client to execute regarding the amount of business they must give us and the length of time that they will use our service. Our much-liked use it as you need it when you need it approach always applies. Our distinctions from factoring are that our open ledger facility has no minimum or maximum requirements and no exit penalties. While our discount and transaction rates remain well below market averages, with the open ledger concept, we are able to fine-tune these rates even further for our clients. 13. Low on capital? An IFG 50/50 franchisee should never be concerned if their capital base is lower than what may be needed to fund a specific transaction. We encourage our franchisees to talk to their referral sources about any size of transaction. We can accommodate large invoices. Size doesn't matter. While large transactions are always welcome and usually very lucrative, they may stretch a franchisee's capital base. If a franchisee cannot meet the requirement, there is no reason why they cannot participate at a lower, more acceptable level. It is decided by the franchisee how they structure their involvement within that 16.66% range. Where there is a shortfall in capital, we will syndicate that shortfall with another franchisee to ensure that the transaction is fully funded in accordance with our standard percentages. We offer our clients great flexibility in how they can work with us, and we also offer that same extensive flexibility to our franchisees in terms of a funding structure. In the event that a franchisee is not able to participate in a transaction that they have sourced, revenue will still stem from the lead. We offer a realistic brokerage approach to such transactions. Our franchisees are always well compensated for their leads. 14. Collections. Will I be a collection agency if the invoice isn't paid? That question has a simple answer. No. Interface is not in the collection business. In fact, other than a low-key reminder call for an overdue item, we engage in minimal collection activity. Our risk management system is primarily predicated on the assumption that the customer will pay, and that is typically how it works. We get paid. In the unlikely event of non-payment, we then have recourse to our client company and the guarantors for recovery. Page number 19. There are only two main reasons why an invoice is not paid. A. The customer does not have the money. B. The customer claims to have a dispute over the service or merchandise. In both cases, the interface system manages the risk by always checking credit before we purchase the invoice and by obtaining the customer's written confirmation that the goods or services were satisfactorily delivered and accepted. This verification and credit process is always carried out prior to the purchase of the invoice. Therefore, if some negative element surfaces, we can simply decline to purchase that particular invoice. 15. Technology at work. Offering our clients a high degree of personal service is paramount. This personal service is backed up by a state-of-the-art operations platform that enables us to deliver the completed service to our clients in a matter of hours. We understand what our clients see as their main concern once they have identified a cash flow issue: timing. When we talk to prospective clients for the first time, the number one question is invariably, how soon can I get funded? While we cannot offer instant gratification, we offer funding times reduced to a few hours. The driver for the funding timing process is the client rather than interface. Our system can swing into action as soon as the client provides the base data that we require. Our operations platform allows prospective clients to access the platform and to upload their data as a time-saving aspect. Likewise, clients have access to see their transaction base as it develops. Franchisees also have complete, secure access to each of their transactions. They can view the transaction from multiple angles to gain a complete picture. The following link will take you to some screenshots of our proprietary system. In our IFG 50/50 environment, we, the franchisor, are responsible for the paperwork, which embraces posting, updating, and managing the platform process. Please take a look at some sample pages. Click below. Page number 20. Part 4. Franchisees. Section 16. The IFG 50/50 candidate. Section 17. Interface Franchisee Backgrounds. Page number 21. 16. The IFG 50/50 candidate. IFG 50/50 franchisees are very much in the people business. As such, we seek individuals that see themselves as people. They tend to be more of an extrovert side rather than an introvert. People usually have a natural ability to network comfortably and communicate with other business people. They build their portfolio through relationship marketing. They are comfortable working with bankers, accountants, brokers, and other professionals. Typical IFG 50/50 franchisees are communicators, problem solvers, decision makers. Do you need to be a numbers cruncher? It helps to have some basic math ability, but it certainly is not imperative. Our personalized training system will easily walk you through the process and procedures. Our program ensures that you will have a comfort level with the entire interface system. Our sophisticated yet understandable transaction platform tracks transactions from start to finish. Your people skills make the program work for you and your client. Is a business background an asset? Yes. That background may have come from many different areas. Franchisee selection and the final award process are based on previously mentioned qualities and a traditional background check. Page number 22. 17. Interface Franchisee Backgrounds. There is not one single background or profession that typifies an interface franchisee's former life. Some people continue to operate in a business or profession in addition to running their interface franchise. Others have chosen semi-retirement as the framework for their franchise setting. The following is a partial list of what IFG franchisees did prior to interface. Small business owner, finance company executive, physicist, oil and gas consultant, franchise consultant, medical device sales, business broker, civil engineer, bond trader, VP banking, software designer, financial analyst, business consultant, IT analyst, teacher, electrician, real estate developer, insurance executive, VP engineering, restaurant owner, telecom executive, VP healthcare, chemist, leasing company executive, IT project manager, marketing manager, CEO packaging firm, retail store owner, accountant, sales manager, military officer. Page number 23. Part 5. The Franchise. Section 18. What you get with an interface franchise. Section 19. Home-based or professional office. Section 20. Should I incorporate? Section 21. Startup time. Section 22. Transition vehicle. Section 23. Business and franchise costs. Section 24. Background investigations. Page number 24. 18. What you get with an interface franchise. Your franchise fee covers 1. Use of the multi-volume Interface Procedures Manual. 2. Use of the registered name, the Interface Financial Group. 3. Use of the registered interface logo and trademark. 4. All day-to-day operating forms needed to run your interface business. 5. Customized legal documentation needed to conduct your invoice discounting business. 6. An initial supply of business cards, letterhead, envelopes, and marketing brochures. 7. Manual and documentation updates as appropriate. 8. Regular editions of Team Intelligence, the internal newsletter specifically for interface franchisees. 9. Training materials and workbooks. 10. Interface formal training, Module 2. Other than your travel, meals, and lodging, the cost of formal training is all included in the franchise fee. 11. Interface Field Training, Module 3. A senior interface training executive visits every franchisee at their location to help launch their interface business and conduct practical on-site marketing. The cost of all travel, lodging, meals for the interface training executive is at the expense of Interface. 12. Access to the IFG Network Transaction Platform, Transaction Tracking System. 13. Marketing materials to validate and market your business, personalized with